Welcome back, Middle Age Grind, and today I wanted to do a video on homeowners insurance. I had some questions from a few viewers who wanted to know about proper home valuation and coverage to make sure if there's some black swan event and you had a total loss in a homeowner's policy claim that making sure you have enough to rebuild, okay? So I want to go over that today and go over some techniques and topics here to ensure that you have the right coverage. So number one, and I've mentioned this on a previous video, we have what you call estimated replacement cost tool here at State Farm. And what that means is we put in all the information of your home, okay? Square footage, year it was built, how many bedrooms, what type of floor coverings, how high are the ceilings. I mean, that's the level of detail, guys, when it goes into inputting these inputs. And as the years have progressed, they have gotten more and more advanced on dialing down the exact, it's called Exactware, but it's an estimated replacement cost tool to get the coverage to rebuild in today's dollars. Now, I will say this. If you're a new customer coming in and getting that done, you're going to get the most accurate in today's updated system. If you have been a customer for several years, your policy has automatically been going up a little bit each year with inflation. But a lot of times, if we go reevaluate that now, because that tool might have been done 20 years ago, it might be a little bit different if we go and just recalculate that thing today. So it may be something you want to do with your insurance agent. Sit down with them, say, I've been a customer for 20 years, this is the coverage I have. Is this the most recently updated estimate according to the software that you have? And they'll be happy to go over with your home and all the details and putting that information in there to come up with an accurate number. The next thing you can do, and we actually accept this too in many cases for homeowners insurance, get a professional appraisal, all right? This is going to be not just someone looking on the internet what houses are selling for, but coming out, measuring your house, doing kind of the same things. They probably have a similar software, and getting it professionally appraised. And they're going to come up with the number, and it's going to probably be pretty accurate to what it is. Now, in most cases, you're going to have to pay for this, so a lot of times, I don't know what they cost. I can imagine it's probably a few $100 minimally to have a professional appraiser to come out and measure your house and do all those things to get that number there. Another thing you can do, call a builder in your area. There's people who build homes. Say, look, what is your price per square foot to build a home with, whatever you're looking for. I want ceramic tile floors, wood, granite countertops, and they'll send you information. Yeah, it's X amount per foot. I know generally speaking in where area where I live, it's about $200 a square foot right now to build a home. And that's gonna be a nice home. Everywhere is gonna be different, but you can always do that to see, where your insurance is now and what that number is if you got to rebuild. Now keep in mind too, these are some of the things you can do to make sure it's properly insured. You do have some safeguards in policies. As an example, with our policy, if the estimated replace cost tool was coming up to where you're insuring 100% of what we say it is. So let's say it's $200,000 and you're insuring it for that, we give you, it's called option ID, 20% more of that automatically if you cannot rebuild for that 200, all right, thousand. So in that case, if you exhaust the $200,000, we'll provide an extra $40,000 for you to rebuild. And that's put into place when there are widespread disasters. Usually what happens is there's inflation that hits that area because everybody needs a builder, everybody needs a roofer, everybody needs a plumber, yada yada, okay, to help you defray some of those costs in there. So that's just with us. Your company may be different, but check into that for that coverage. Another point I want to make too, loss of use. Most policies have this. We have it here at State Farm. If your home is deemed to be a total loss and you cannot live in it, loss of use kicks in and pays for you to live somewhere else, okay? In our case, it's up to 2 years, right? Your policy may be different, but when in that situation, let's say an example, you have a total loss, there's a bunch of losses, we pay for you to rent a home or an apartment, whatever your choice is, something similar for you to live in. You may be there 6 months before you get started on the rebuild process because of everything's going on. Those prices may come down a little bit by then. There may be some easement in that inflation there. So that's another provision of your policy that you have in there to help you deal with that. And keep in mind too, I know a lot of headlines are made with California, and I've mentioned before in videos, they have some very unique situations. And what I mean by that is, like as an example, in the Palisades, from what I understand, that's some of the most highest real estate in the country. But some of those homes there were some mansions, and they may have been properly insured, okay? But there are some homes that were built in the 50s, 60s, and 70s that have been in the families for years that may have been paid off and maybe were underinsured, okay? But those are extreme examples. When you're living on the coast of California, it's not always going to be relative to the situation where you're at in middle America or that kind of thing. Every situation is unique. This is just to make sure, guys, that you have the right coverage or doing everything you need to do to make sure you have the adequate coverage on your house. The next part of this is going to be the personal property portion, all right? What are some of the things you can do to make sure you're claiming all of your property? And I've mentioned before, and if you watch me, and you can go back and watch my old videos, I suffered a fire in my shed back in August of 2024. Golf cart caught on fire. Thank God it was not my house. It was, something we had to deal with, had insurance. I went through the claims process as an agent. And one of the things I've done on doing these videos, I did some of these videos in my garage. And my wife had a good point, because most of the stuff in there, I purchased. It was tools and that kind of thing. She really didn't know. And she says, you did a couple videos in there. Why don't you go look at it? Sure enough, I go look at the videos. I see about 10 things hanging on the wall and laying down I totally forgot about that were mine. So my recommendation to you is, almost everybody watching this has a smartphone. I'd say 99% of you. Go take a video inventory of each room in your home. Go in your attic. That's stuff you have. And just do a quick video and save it to your cloud on your phone. And God forbid, if that day ever comes, you can go in there and look at what you have in your closet, look at your drawers, look in your kitchen, look on your walls, etc. Do that. It'll probably take you 10 minutes to do it. And when it comes to personal property, the way most policies work is, and it's totally understandable, you have to list what you have, right? Insurance company is going to pay you for what you actually lost, right? It's not going to be, just some random amount we're going to give you money, okay? This is indemnification. This is restoring you to where you were. And most people don't write down everything. They don't keep receipts for 20 years. This is just some of the things they do. And I totally recommend you take a video of all your inventory there. Another thing too that was pretty neat with State Farm, and this had just started around when I had my claim, when I made my claim with State Farm, they sent me some emails, of course, and some things. There was some really good software in there to where when I was listing all my property in my shed, they kind of did a room by room thing, and it gave you examples of stuff you have in your bedroom, in your bathroom, in your garage, which that was my loss was, confined to there. But it gave you some things to kind of jog your memory there. And that was pretty cool because, like I say, they give you time too. Usually, guys, they give you a year, some cases up to 2 years to report everything. It's not like you're gonna have to come up with this in a week or two. They know people are under stress and claim times, but these are just some of the things you can do to make sure you're properly covered. Number one, on your home, your actual structure, and number two, on your personal property, making sure you get everything that you lost in the event of a claim. And I hope this helps. And please, I appreciate the questions and the comments. And if you have any more questions, I'd love to help answer them. And I'll see you real soon on the Middle Age Grind.